Alright guys, I got another double unboxing for you today. Today I'm going to be unboxing two watches that I recently picked up here in Japan off of Amazon. The first is one from Seiko's sub-brand Alba, which I don't think is readily available outside of Asia, but it's pretty popular over here. This is a titanium watch with a fully loomed dial that I got for around 60 bucks. And the other one I picked up is a Citizen Eco Drive watch. This is part of their Promaster Land collection. It is a GMT World Time watch. And actually, Jody over at Just One More Watch picked up the same watch. I saw it pop up on his channel. He's mentioned on Instagram that he had got one too, so kind of cool seeing that we were thinking along the same lines. So if you're curious to see more of this one, you can also head over and check out his video, which he's got up on it. Just going to be going through the unboxings today, but let's go ahead and get into it and check them out. Okay, so I went kind of bargain hunting on the Japanese Amazon site and came up with these two that I really kind of liked. So I have the Citizen Promaster World Time and this kind of Alba field watch. Let's jump into the Alba first, and Alba, as mentioned, is Seiko's sub-brand. So on the website, they bill this as a Seiko watch, even though it is Alba. And this watch is a really fantastic value, I think. Let's go ahead and get that sticker off. This is a titanium watch. It is also a fully loomed watch, which I believe uses Seiko's Lumabrite, because again, this is a Seiko sub-brand. So incredibly light, 100 meters of water resistance, and I picked this up for I think around $60 equivalent. So you can see they've gone with black hands and black numbers to really get a lot of contrast against that kind of creamy dial, and that's going to glow very nicely in the dark. So you get the dial will light up, but then the black hands and numbers will be very clearly visible against it. Day-date complication on there. Obviously a quartz watch, but the second hand seems to be doing a pretty good job of hitting all the markers here. You have just a simple push-pull crown. Movement does have hacking. Let's get the dimensions out of the way. It's a fairly compact 38 millimeter diameter, about 45 millimeters lug to lug. It has a domed mineral crystal which pushes it up to about 12 millimeters, but it really doesn't look like a 12 millimeter watch because it has such a thin case. And then you are getting 18 millimeter lugs, which I don't have a lot of 18 millimeter straps. I might try throwing. I think I have like one leather one, a couple of other NATOs. This one, yeah, has it kitted out for a NATO, which I think is good with that 100 meters of water resistance. Yes, I think this is going to make a great little field watch. Let me show you what it looks like on the wrist real quick. So there I have a 7.5 inch wrist, and yeah, you know, for a field watch, I think it's going to wear really well. It feels great. And I think that's a size I can definitely get away with, and I really like the black on white look there. Those black numbers and black hands really pop off against that kind of creamy dial. Yeah, really comfortable on this NATO strap as well. Anyways, we're going to get the loom shot in a minute. Let me get the Citizen out, and we'll get the loom shot when I get both of them out. Okay, now this is one that I've had in my wish list for a long time. Really been waiting to pick up and finally got around to it. I don't think this is the right box for it. I think the Amazon seller probably kept the Promaster box, but anyways, whatever. Here we go. This is what we're looking at. So this is the Citizen Promaster World Time. So it has a dedicated GMT hand, and then it has a World Time bezel. Okay, so there it is with all of the wrapping and everything taken off of it. And one of the things that really appealed to me is that I really feel like this is very similar in a lot of ways to the Citizen Nighthawk. It's got 200 meters of water resistance. It's got a screw-down crown, knurled crown, a bracelet that's very similar to the Nighthawk. Very nice bracelet, very fluid. Nice milled clasp there. It has a GMT function. Let's get the dimensions out of the way. I believe it's a 42 millimeter diameter. Yeah, you're getting 42 millimeter diameter, 49 millimeters lug to lug, 22 millimeter lugs, and then it's a little bit tall at about 13.5 millimeters tall. And that depth is the one thing that I don't really like about it. That's the one negative I think that I've noticed. It looks like the dial is very deeply set in there. Like that chapter ring with the 24-hour markings is very tall, taller than I would prefer. But other than that, I think the rest of the watch looks really great. And I think the dial design and case design, actually, they borrowed a lot from the Promaster Land series. It looks a lot like the Citizen Promaster Tough. Kind of a long crown, but very easy to grip and unscrew. And then you'll notice that for setting, so if you go over to the time setting, the GMT hand moves with it. And so you would set the GMT hand, and then the main hour hand is kind of your local time. And so that one, when you're in the date set position, it's going to jump by the hour. So the hour hand jumps. So that's good for transitioning and traveling. So I think the idea is you use the GMT hand, you leave it in like your local time or in GMT time. And then wherever you travel, you jump the hour hand to wherever you want to go. And for me, the really cool thing about this is it has a world time bezel, which this is my first watch with a world time bezel. I've been wanting to get one and play around with it. And basically, this will allow you to find the time in any time zone in the world. So I'm still learning how to use it. This is a bi-directional bezel, stainless steel insert, nicely printed on there. But it is friction-based, so there's no clicks. It just turns very smoothly. A little jarring at first, but it works really well. And basically the way it works is you line, so whatever time zone you have the GMT hand set to, you line that city up. So for me, I set the GMT to Los Angeles on almost all my watches because that's where I used to live. So if I find Los Angeles on this dial and move that over to the GMT hand, then I move it over to the hour that the GMT hand's pointing to. Now if I look at any other city on the dial, it'll tell me what time it would be in any of those cities. So if it was 7 p.m. in Los Angeles, it would be 5 a.m. in Athens. It would be 10 a.m. in Bangkok. It'd be 5 p.m. in Honolulu. So you can kind of look up all of those different times. It's a really cool little handy thing if you're traveling a lot, or if you're always calculating what time it is in different time zones, to be able to have that on your wrist. Quick look on the wrist. This is a 42 millimeter watch, and it looks like it wears really great on my 7.5 inch wrist. 42 is kind of my sweet spot. And this one with the bezel, it kind of makes it wear, I think, a little bit smaller than the Nighthawk, which is all dial at 42 millimeters. But yeah, I'm looking forward to testing this one out and wearing it a lot. Eco drive movement, so solar quartz. Not need to do battery changes for pretty much ever. Really great grab and go watch. All right, let's take a look at the lume on both of these guys real quick, and we'll close this out. All right, let's go ahead and charge these guys up. You can see this one's already glowing, so I'm got a lot of hopes for this one. Yeah, that's pretty bright glow for a $60 watch. So that's one of the nice things about being a Seiko sub-brand, is you get access to some nice lume. Let's take a look at the Citizen, which actually isn't bad either. Curiously, they went with a green glow. On my Nighthawk, they have a blue glow, so I think Citizen usually uses blue, so I thought this would be a blue one, but they've gone with green on this model. And it's nice to see that all of the numbers are fully lumed as well. You can see the GMT hand, but you can't see any of the GMT markings, so it might be a little bit hard to kind of guess what time it is on the GMT. But we'll be doing full lume rundowns in these when we do the full reviews. All right, I'm going to wear these and check them out, and we'll get back to you guys.